Hey marketers, welcome back. We are going to jump into what I think is one of my most favorite topics in the world, personal branding. I love how marketing can connect to all different majors through this topic. And I'm kind of a personal branding and career nerd. So I'm super excited about this and getting to just walk through some important information with you, get ready for all the things that are to come in your careers, and really just start thinking about what is it that I might want to do with my life. And I understand some people, they know exactly what they want to do. Maybe they've known since they were 5 years old. Maybe they're going into the family business. Maybe something happened when they were in high school and it just inspired them. And they know exactly what they want to do when they grow up. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're in a different boat. Maybe you've heard of some things and you think, gosh, that could be interesting. And you want to explore your options, but you're not sure yet. And that's okay too. And then you could be in another boat. Maybe you're in the boat that says, I have no idea what I want to do. I think marketing is interesting, or I think accounting is interesting, or maybe you picked a major because that's what one of your parents does. I've met a ton of major people who say, well, I'm going to be an accountant because my dad's an accountant and that's what I know. So that's what I want to do. Or I've met people who say, I'm majoring in business, or I'm majoring in, whatever it is, because that's what my parents want me to major in. Or I've even met students who say, I'm majoring in business because I want to be a mechanic. But my grandparents are paying for college. And so I figured majoring in business would help me own my own repair shop someday. So there's a ton of different boats you could be in. Maybe you just really don't know what you want to do, and that's okay too. But my encouragement for you in this section is just to really start thinking about what it is you might want to do. If you're not sure, start thinking about ways that you can explore different areas. We're going to talk in this first career or personal branding module a little bit about some more practical stuff. We're going to walk through the personal marketing plan assignment. We're going to walk through a resume. And then in the second career module, we're going to walk through more of the job search stuff and really exploring that area of personal branding. So personal branding is really just thinking of yourself as the product. So as we go through every chapter in this entire textbook, in this entire class, you really can bring it back to yourself as the product, and you are promoting yourself. You are creating a marketing plan for yourself, for employers to recognize your strengths and want to interview you and want to hire you. For maybe you want to own your own business. And so maybe your focus is on investors and banks and other people other networking and contacts that you might want to pursue as sort of your target market, in addition to what you think your product or service will do for a certain market of people. And so you can really take each of these different sections. For example, we can talk about segmentation and looking at how can we break up the world of employers into employers that we want to focus on. Maybe it's a certain type of job that you want, right? A lot of times that's going to be based on your major, and that's going to help you narrow down your focus. Maybe it's a certain industry that you want to work in. Maybe you really want to work in the textiles industry or the oil and gas industry or the fashion industry. And so there are lots of different ways that we can narrow down that segmentation piece by breaking up the entirety of all the jobs out there and the areas that you could go into, and really trying to focus in on what makes sense for you. Okay, think about yourself as the product. What makes sense for you as the product in terms of as you continue to grow as a college student, what kinds of things might you need to do to make yourself a more attractive product for that target industry or employer or type of job that you want to pursue in the future, right? So think about that. Is it that you need to join a club, right? That you need to be more involved on campus? Is it that you need to get some experience in the industry? Is it that you need to have a certain GPA? Some industries, some majors are going to put more weight on these different things than others. So we're going to get more into that as we get into the second personal branding module. So then we think of place as distribution. So we're going to talk more about that in the coming chapters in the textbook. But when you think about it as from a personal branding perspective, you can kind of think about how am I going to get myself to those employers? How is it that you are going to actually get in touch with them and contact them, right? How are you going to go about the actual process of getting your resume, your application, you on their desk in front of them in an interview and eventually with your butt in a seat in their firm? Okay, so where are those places? We're going to talk about that a little bit more. This is not the last time we will tell you talking about that. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then when we think about pricing, that of course is going to be your salary or your hourly wage. And there's a lot of different resources to figure out what you might expect there. It may be that you are in a position where you feel like you can negotiate that a little if you have a number of different offers on the table where you can go back to a company and say, well, I have an offer from XYZ. Probably you're not going to tell them who it is, but I have another offer for $2,000 more a year. Can you match that? Or maybe it has something to do with benefits. We think of price as salary, right? But it's not necessarily salary. It's all those other things that are included as well, right? And so when we think of marketing in terms of price with our traditional products, we also are kind of thinking of what is the value to the customer. So in this case, what value are you bringing to your target employer, but also what are they paying you for that value? So it could be salary. It could be things like benefits. So maybe you have an offer for a full-time job that pays less, but when you look at the retirement benefits, maybe they have this other company that pays less has a really great match on their 401k. So in the long term, that might make more sense for you. Maybe you even find a company out there that has a pension plan, which is kind of few and far between, but that's an additional benefit that might have to figure into your salary. Maybe it's that you want a company where you have a little bit of flex time, where you can put in 4 10-hour days and take Fridays off, or you can work till everyone works till noon on Fridays, or there's some portion of your time that you can work from home and work remotely, and some portion that you are going to actually be in a physical office. So all of those pieces, those benefit pieces, also fit into that price section as well. So now I want to move on to promotion. And we're going to circle back to all of these different topics as we walk through the semester and walk through these different modules. But I really want to focus most of our time today on the promotion section. When we think about promotion in a traditional sense, we're thinking of advertising, sales promotions, public relations, all kinds of different things. When we think about it in terms of personal branding, this is really how are you advertising yourself to employers? So this is going to be things like your resume, your LinkedIn page. This could be your cover letter, certainly. This could even be, someone just Googling you or looking you up on Facebook or any other social media platform to kind of figure out who you are outside of just what you present on your resume. They have said for a long time that companies really do look you up on things like Facebook and Instagram and any other social media platform that they can find. And that really is a true thing. People really do that. So it is a big recommendation that you hear a lot to just kind of Google yourself and pull up an incognito window and see what you can find out there about you and see if that all portrays you in the way that you want to be portrayed.